All right. We are live. Let's make sure that we are actually live here in a second. Oh, yeah, we are. Live. Let's make sure that we are actually live here. Yeah, there we are. Okay. All right. Yes, this is going to be a very interesting stream, I think. Very interesting. I hope everyone's doing okay. I know this is typically a lot earlier than I stream, ever. Um, but that is because Larissa works an earlier shift, and I don't want to take a time away from her. Plus, I'm going to be busy for the next 3, 4 days straight after today. And I wanted to make sure that I streamed again so it wasn't like another week and a half. But I also didn't get my photography done for today's Instagram posts. So we're doing something really weird. Hey Cyber Kaiju 2000, how's it going? How are you doing? How are you doing? I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right. I'm doing okay. There was one thing I forgot to get ready for stream that I didn't get um set. So I'm currently doing that really quick. It's on my iPad. It's not something you guys are going to be able to see. Um, Ultraman Blazar. Let's see here. Hi. Hey, how's it going, friend? Hey, the shark. How's it going? Oh, did I get it? There we go. Okay. We got it. 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 I just need. There we go. There we go. Weapons. There we are. Sorry. I realize I've been doing this Blazar set, but it's been a while since I've watched Ultraman Blazar, and I needed a reminder of what techniques he has and what they each mean. Um, that way I didn't just the spiral parade. That's the one. Oh. Oh, so he uses that to get. Oh, okay. I thought that was a completely different technique. Doing good. Just got the Robot Spirits 92 15th anniversary. Very cool figure. Oh, nice. Um, I was about a year ago was looking into getting some of the Robot Spirits Gundams, but finances got away from me, and well, now I don't have any of them. So I was never able to get it, but that's one of the ones I wanted to get was the base Gundam. And then yeah, I think that's probably the one I was looking at was the anniversary version, I think. But I noticed Tamashi dropped like eight different version 8 different anniversary versions of the first Gundam. So with different weapons and stuff, and that's where I was like, never mind. So, okay. So let me explain what's going on here for anyone who's just coming in. So, we're going to be doing a it's going to be kind of awkward because I can't show you guys the photography results right away unless I show you my phone screen, which can't really do that. I have the webcam positioned on my photo. This is where I take my photos, where my reviews are filmed. Right here. Here I am. Um, this is the edge of my desk. So this is where I do all my photographs. I've been doing daily Instagram photo drops almost every single every single day for the last almost 3 weeks now. If I make it to Wednesday, it's been 3 weeks straight of daily posts. So I'm just trying to keep it daily posts for as long as I can. So I'm going to be busy over the next few days. I'm probably not going to have a lot of time to do any photography, at least not anything big like what this Blazar Scar King and the spoiler figure, the spoiler character, Space Godzilla, is part of. But this way I can kind of explain to you guys what I'm doing. We've had some photography questions in the past, and I'm by no means any expert, but I thought this would be fun and different, and I don't have to have my face on screen, so it's like a triple win for me. Shark, I just ordered the MVC Spider-Man plus the Mess Toys Venom to go with him. Oh, dude, that's gonna be sick. That Mess Toys Venom goes so cool, and I really do like that Spider-Man. But whew, yeah, I'm trying to decide on like I would like probably like only one or two different Spider-Man. I would love to do like an actual like collection of Spider-Man figures. I was almost going to do that when No Way Home came out because it was the optimal time to get some of the Spider-Man that don't get figures all the time, and ended up just never going along with it because a lot of the Tamashi figures had issues, and then Mafex takes like years to come out, and now like the Mafex Andrew and Toby are like super expensive if I'm not mistaken. I know the Toby is already like up there, so it's just like I've given up. And those are the No Way Home variants, not the variant I want. If I want a Toby, I really, really would like a Spider-Man 2. I love the brightness of his suit in that movie. I think it's gorgeous. So that would be the one that I would prefer. But we'll see. Only time will tell. Only time will tell. But today we are not talking Spider-Man. Although we can talk Spider-Man, of course. A more buff Toby, yeah. And that's like my main like issue with the Mafex and the Tamashi is they're really thin. And I just think besides for real life character, like real life actors, I think I'm not going to get any Tamashi products because they just refuse to make the actor or actresses bulky. Like the new Thor that's coming out for Doomsday, the arms are like, twigs. It throws the whole look of the figure off. And I don't like it. So Tamashi's not getting my money there, and Mafex kind of does the same thing. We'll see once they eventually get to No Way Home stuff, or excuse me, Doomsday stuff. We probably got like 3 years. Jeez. Yeah, I'm kind of not surprised. Well, I am because like that was just their original Hulk figure with new paint, so I'm surprised it did as well because I remember when that Hulk came out, people were bitching about it. Didn't like it. I believe that's the Infinity War Hulk. But I guess now that it's gone so rare and people just wanted a Tamashi Hulk, that people are now okay with it, which is fine. That happens with me a lot. I'll dog on something for a few years, and then a few years will go by, and I'll be like, oh shit, maybe I was just too hard on it. So hopefully that's what that is. The No Way Home mask was kind of chopped. Yeah, that too. Well, and then like they were doing the weird shit where they released the what the hell is it called? The No Way Home the the time suit, the black suit with the bracelet that he uses at the beginning of the film while he's picking up all the villains. And I realized that it's the concept art version of it and not the final movie version. But then they never went and released like an actual movie version, and it's too skinny. The final swing one for Tamashi is probably the one I would go with. They did a final swing one, yeah, I think so. I'm sure it's expensive. Um, because the new brand new day one doesn't have the texture on the suit, and I'm not buying a figure that clearly has texture on the suit and it's not on the figure. So I don't know. So yeah, yeah, man. I saw a brand new day. It's awesome. Trying not to talk about it. I'm trying to give people, you know, um, I'm trying to give people some time. I know not everyone's seen it. I was very, very fortunate to be able to see it. I was not expecting to see it, you know, opening day or Friday. I was able to see it Friday. God, I feel like it's a little dark. Am I crazy? Is my webcam a little too dark? Let me rise it up. The webcam looks like ass because it's a 1080p camera. Like, so I can't update the quality. It's gonna be fuzzy when it's blown up on screen like this. I apologize, everyone. This is just the best with what I got right now. I don't have a 4K camera. I don't have the cords to be able to hook up my camera or the app. There's a specific app that you need to have with OBS, and it costs money to be able to view it on your PC without, you know, all the camera stuff on it, like the button and stuff. We did one stream like that and it looked not very great. So my own fault. There's the third party soft goods, Toby. I don't know. I might get that. I haven't got any soft. Oh, yeah, I know which one that is. Um, yeah, that one looks good. That one looks good. Superheroes Hulk. I took her to see it day one. Oh heck yeah. Hopefully she enjoyed. That was, you know, a lot of that sequence is in the trailers. That was one of my favorite sequences from the movie. I like that. That was a good scene. Same awesome movie in my opinion. Won't spoil, of course. Yeah, thank you guys. I appreciate it. There's probably some people watching that haven't seen it yet. So, but not. I'm gonna continue the conversation, but I am gonna get here to photography because I do try to make it a thing where I post by 5 p.m. typically every day. Um, so yeah, so yeah, so we're gonna do that. We're gonna get it. So I've got my camera, you know, my phone here. I'm gonna try not to leak anything. Leak anything. I should have charged my phone, but that's okay. So we're gonna get to it. So if you guys haven't caught up, I'm gonna pull the webcam screen down. Okay, it's a good thing I had nothing up. Got 2 people watch. Oh yeah, thanks guys. Thanks for hanging out early on a Sunday. So if you guys, I'm gonna be trying to. I know I said I wouldn't do this, but I lied. Oh, this has got my messages up. Darn it. Well, okay. We'll go over this quick. So if you guys haven't been following the Instagram, you have an Instagram, I do recommend going to it. I'm going to be pushing this a lot harder because I am making daily content here. The plan is to make daily shorts on YouTube and on here. Basically, I do a photography version of these scenes, and then I do a short version of these. So like, there was a short version of the Mecha King Ghidorah fight. I didn't do it with the shins because some of these were only one photo. I kind of skipped around here. Some of these have short versions and, you know, short video versions, the reels, and then they have the photo version. So I'm trying to do both. But I feel like some people kind of want one or the other, and sometimes they always get locked out. So this stream, this is the part 2 to this post, which is the first part, which is just Ultraman Blazar versus Scar King, kind of going back and forth. But it's pretty clear Blazar's winning the fight because Scar kind of sucks. He's old, you know. And then the final pose is Scar bringing out the crystal, summoning a kaiju to its rescue, who just happens to be not Shimo. It ends up being Space Godzilla, which is something I said yesterday in my post. It's like, I'm probably going to piss people off that Scar is controlling Space Godzilla in this story. So, W Photography, thank you. I work really damn hard, and this year I've been slowly like opening up to being pretty prideful with my photos and you know, doing what I can. So, by the way, what do you think about the um so it's not that they're necessarily holding GMK to go for something to go with GMK. They just decided to switch the O3 releases with the O1 and the O2. So we don't know for sure if it's because they're holding off. I would assume that's why they're holding off. But I don't think we'll have to wait too long. And I think there's going to be kaiju like 62 and Earth that will release it'll be 2 Godzillas instead of a Godzilla and the antagonist or protagonist, depending on which story it is. So like 62, Godzilla is the antagonist, not the protagonist. So I think they'll just release 62 as is. Because yeah, they seem to not be able to do Kong because Universal is a cuck. So yeah, blame Universal. So I was gonna mention that to you, Shark. That Taz mentioned that they got switched, and I was like, oh, you're gonna be pretty sad that GMK got delayed. But hey, hopefully this means that the GMK kaiju will just come out sooner. So I think that's the win because this would be This would be the third GMK release in the line's history. If they're gonna do that, they need to drop GMK kaiju with it. It can't just be Godzilla anymore. We're past that point. So I'm okay with it. I know some people aren't the most crazy about it, but I'm it's how it goes. It's business. I would much rather them wait and release it with the GMK Ghidorah, or have a GMK Ghidorah working, and then you know just release GMK, because we're at the point in the line, even though my collection isn't as large as it used to be, or well, yeah, I mean it is, but I used to have a lot more like antagonists or other kaiju. Um, Even at this point, I'm like, we need less Godzilla, we need more of the other kaiju, because it's if the movie graphic line is going to be locked to Godzilla or Godzilla related kaiju, like they're already almost done. There's nothing else they can really drop. They have like 5 or 6 movie graphic choices, and then they're done. Like they have to start spacing them out by making new kaiju. So I'm fine with it if I have to wait 5 years. If they're making another GMK, yeah, I would. My guess is GMK Ghidorah is probably uh, probably something they are currently working on. So I I'm pretty sure those two were revealed with that intention, except there was going to be a bigger gap. And now that they know that we want, you know, a movie graphic plus release and the kaiju within like a year or so time, like I think they held back, because obviously it depending on how it works, it seems like the Kiryu was in place, and then the '03 Godzilla was just ready to go, right? So my guess would be next year. I don't think they're going to wait that long. There might be 2 movie graphic releases or 1 movie graphic release between GMK and Ghidorah, but like Tamashii Nations Expo in November, that got announced. We know the dates. I actually already have my, as of right now, my wish list for the things that I think we're gonna see, which I expect it to change, because there's 1 or 2 options I actually do expect to be revealed before Tamashii Nations. 75 Mecha Godzilla. So, uh, something like that. So, we've got options. It's The weight game is okay. The weight game is okay. In my opinion, it's okay. Could we get a No, it won't be a 2.0, but it'll be like a poster color version, maybe. So that is on the list. Spoiler alert. I'm not gonna do it until we're done with October. But that is on the list as a poster color movie graphic Space Godzilla. That was suggested from my good friend Kaiju Fanatic, Matt. He was like, "Hey, could they do Space Godzilla?" I was like, "Well, I don't know." And then I sat there and thought about it. It's like, well, they could do the poster version, because every company's done the poster color version at this point. So, besides movie monster series. So yeah, I would say so. Thoughts on the new Tiga Dark? A 94. I see. I misread it. So a movie graphics space with a 2.0 94. Yes, that's like spoiler alerts. Those are probably like, I broke it down into brackets. So I broke it down into new sculpts, decisive battle versions, and movie graphic plus. That's how it'll be. There's 5 or 6 guesses per category. Those two are like my number ones, is 94 2.0 and movie graphics Space Godzilla. So I think those are going to be the 2 revealed. Those aren't the two. Those aren't necessarily my personal number one wants, but those are 2 of the ones that I think are the most likely. So just going off of context clues. So, but we'll see. We'll see. So the Tiga Dark, I'm not as upset as most people are with it. I am disappointed that he doesn't have his beam, his regular, I forget what Tiga's beam is, his, his specium level attack, because it's red for Tiga Dark. And that was my favorite thing with the Ultra Act. is the Ultra Act had the red beam and it looked gorgeous. So I am disappointed in that, but I was talking to my friend Kaiju Fanatic Matt. I was talking to him and I was like, you know what? They probably didn't release the beam because we're gonna get a different suit actor version of Tiga Dark that's not an event exclusive locked behind a lottery. So um but yeah, it's I'm a little I'm a little worried. I'm I like the transformation effect, but not having the Tiga beam is ridiculous. And although it's a promo suit actor, it is disappointing that it isn't like the actual suit actor for Tiga Dark the first time. I will say that is disappointing. So, but Tiga Dark is my favorite form, so I'm not going to complain too much if I'm being honest. My number one wants are Leo, Dez, and also O 03 and O 04. That we'll see. We'll see. I would probably say out of all of those, it's probably only going to be one of them. I don't think we're going to get Leo and Dez or Leo and O 03. I had to kind of fix my list because I have a really strong suspicion that a 94 2.0 is coming, but I also think with that because Taz said there is something or some things, plural, that people are going to really love, but that's also going to make a lot of people angry. My only assumption is that it's a 91 Hokkaido Godzilla and a 91 Decisive Battle King Ghidorah. And it's not going to be a 2.0 Ghidorah, obviously, because it's a Decisive Battle version. So, yeah. Well, if we get Leo, would be one or yeah. Well, but this last year they didn't do that. Oh, hey baby, hi baby. Did you send me a snap? Did you send me a snap? Oh, you did. I'm so sorry, baby. Oh, um, a lot of the prototypes that they reveal at Tamashi Nations are typically like our first 5 months. So, I just yeah, the one that's in November, the big one, you know, where we saw Legion, where we saw 75, where we saw Odo Island last year, that Tamashi Nations event. Because even like Kaiser Ghidorah, like being revealed at the current one running in the Tamashi Nation store, that is very likely going up for solicitation this year. It was already supposed to be up. It was supposed to go up in May. That's confirmed. The plan was in May, and that's why October's empty. We don't have an October release because that was supposed to be Kaiser, but it is they said the engineering side of it is not where they want it to be, and it's not what customer expectation is. They said it's pretty limited, and it looked like the tails weren't even done yet. So that's why Kaiser's not out yet. But Kaiser's probably going to be the solicitation in November. Is kind of what suggestions were made. So, goddamn, I haven't even worked on a photo. We've been going for 23 minutes. I need to talk and photograph, guys. That's my fault, though, not you guys' fault. I love that we're conversating. But yeah, so like Tamashi Nations Expo in November, it's going to be what we're going to be seeing for like mid 2027 to end of 2027. Um, Something that I didn't put on there that's probably likely as well. We might see some supernova teases. I want to see Leo in 03, GMK, Mechagodzilla 75, GMK, Goji Baragon, and 55. Yeah, I don't think they're gonna do two Mothras. I don't think so. It'll be 03 Mothra or Leo, but I will say on that note, I do think O3 Mothra might drop before then, and then we might see Leo for a prototype at the event. I think that that is possible. I don't think they're going to do two raw Mothra reveals, because I would say, um, well, and that's something else that I need to do a stream on. I'm starting to take back my thoughts on 93 Godzilla. I think that box is 75. I think what they have done is they've used a Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla logo that looks like the Heisei, but it's going to be a fake out and it's going to be the 75 versus the 70. It's going to be the 75 duo. I know there's already a box for 75 Godzilla, but I feel like they're going to be tricky once it releases publicly and show off, you know, a few factory runs of 75, and then it'll be next to the 75 Mechagodzilla. So, but I could be wrong too. It's definitely the 93 logo, but Tamashi's been sneaky before. And I'm going to be honest, 93 Godzilla just makes zero sense right now. Especially if I'm guessing that 91 or 94 2.0 is going to be at Tamashi Nations. It doesn't make sense to drop 2 to 3, or, technically 89 as well, 4 Heisei Godzillas within a year. So I don't know if they're going to do that. So, but we'll see. They might just be like the 93 is the 2.0 94, So they could do that too. But yeah, I do think Mechagodzilla 75 will be within the month or two, with Godzilla 75 releasing. It's very safe to assume that that figure has sold dramatically well. So, just going off of pre-sales. But yeah, Leo, I think still has a good option. Oh, the thing is, remember they only do like 5 or 6 reveals, and they've made it a pattern that every 2 years that there's Gamera reveals. So in 2023, it was, or excuse, 23, 22. One of the years they did Iris and 99 Gamera, Kyoto version. And then it took 2 years to get, 2020, 2024, it was 2022, they did Iris and 99 Gamera. 2024 was Legion and 96 Sendai version. This year, because they've been on or at least the antagonist has, likely 2 of the spots is a 95 reissue, Decisive Battle version, and Super Gauss from Guardian of the Universe. So just keep that in mind. But Leo would be nice. Leo's not on my list, but Leo would be very, very nice. But we'll see. That's all, like, that's me trying to take a realistic approach and not just like me guessing what I want to guess, because there's a few things that I would rather, like, for me personally, I would rather want than some of the guesses I have. I'm just trying to go off of context clues from the people in the know, and kind of things that Tamashi has kind of, like, I'm using the surveys as my base for a lot of my guesses. Because that's what we were told, is if it's in the survey, that's what's likely going to happen. And I can't help but see that Orga has been sitting on the voting poll for a little bit. Megalon has been sitting on the voting poll for a little bit. So, spoiler alert, those two are very, like, are high up on my list, because those, they've been sitting there for a while. Same thing with the GMK Kaiju. I think it could be. Could be. Could be. Not guaranteed, but could be. But I also don't want my guesses, to take away from your guys' guesses, because that's like the fun thing, is all of us having different lists. It's just mine is the realistic, or based on realistic data, and not just like the things I want to see. But like Bagon was there. That'd be kind of crazy. Like, there's a few other things, a few other guesses. I'm kind of keeping secret. I like I said, that stream won't be until October. I want 0 reveals before the Tamashi Nation Expo. I wanted to have everything that we could have revealed taken off the list before we get there. I want realistically. I would say Leo's realistic. I would say so, especially if we get 03 Mothra within the next year. Because that's the other thing with the 03 Mothra, is it might not be at Tamashi Nations, but that still doesn't mean that they're not gonna, surprise reveal it in December or January, because the 03 Godzilla and Kiryu. So these aren't the only releases we'll get for 2027, but it's a good number of them, and that's just based off of what we saw this year, where it literally everything they showed off were most of the first reveals going into 2026, or the first releases. 75 is finally coming out, and Odo Island is the last one. Otherwise, Tamashi Nations 2025, everything is out besides those 2 and the Shin set. So very, very excited. So that's one thing, is if we see it there, it very likely is happening within 12 months. So if it's Leo, that means Leo's coming out, But we'll see. Tamashi's definitely weird. but the Rebirth of Mothra trilogy stuff is in the survey data. So I would not put it past them to secretly put some Rebirth of Mothra stuff out there. I just I think they'll do it slow because it is not that popular. The films are not that popular, in Japan or over here. So it'd probably be Leo, see how Leo does, and then Des Ghidorah or um, Grand. Grand is probably the one I would expect first for the antagonist, but it would be kind of weird if they started with Rebirth 3. But they might do what they're doing with Showa and work backwards. Or they might just change everything up because, 65 Godzilla and 55 Godzilla are there. So don't lose your hopes, guys. Hold on to them. Don't don't lock yourself into the realism bubble like me. Have big expectations because last year, if you would have, you know, I wouldn't have fully expected 75 Godzilla. Like that was out of nowhere. And Odo Island was also out of nowhere. So keep up the hope. For the figures that you guys do buy, remember to do the surveys, whether you scan it from the box or you go to thearticulationseries.com and make sure you're doing the surveys and make sure that you're saying which kaiju you want. There is a type in box where you can type in the kaiju you want and you can do them in English. So working backwards. Yeah, it could be because I mean that's how the Gamera stuff worked. They started Gamera 99, Gamera 96, and now 95. Possibly. So, okay, I need to get photos. I'm 30 minutes in. We've been blabbing, which is good. I just need to talk. I need to talk and photograph. So, because I have 30 minutes until this drop is supposed to be out. And yesterday I was late. So, um how do I want to introduce Space Godzilla here? I'm gonna let you guys help me with this as well. There's a stream I want to do maybe next week where I want to get some ideas for photography, like sets, like what in my collection do you guys want to see? I'm gonna have a little bit of say in it because some of the reason why I'm doing a weird trio, technically quadruple if you count the forms of Blazar, um, because Space Godzilla, Blazar, and Scar King all haven't been a thumbnail on Instagram this year or really in the past. So I'm trying to get every figure on a thumbnail on my Instagram. So you can look through my Instagram, you'll see my whole collection, if you're going through it. So that's kind of the play here. Um, let's see. Should we do something like super crazy? Should I do what I did with Gomra? Should I have him coming out of the ground? I am kind of rage baited by Space Godzilla being controlled. Yeah, yeah. That honestly, that was kind of my point. The point was like, how many people am I gonna make mad? But hey, like in continuity, like you're gonna tell me that Shimo isn't stronger than Space? Not that you can power scale between them, but like realistically, like you know, I don't want to break anything. It used to make me mad that you could just pop off the middle portion of the Space Godzilla, but like now I can pop it off and I can do things like this, you know. So this is what I'm kind of. I just gotta watch those fucking crystals, make sure not a lot of weight's put on them. But you know, that was the fun. This is the fun. The fun for me is rage baiting because this is the whole point of me, buying the toys that I do is being able to be like a kid and you know, play with my toys and do, these weird, I don't want to say collabs, but like they're basically kind of like collabs. Where like I'm making my toys do weird stuff. They're doing powers and stuff that is things that they don't do in their movies. Because, like, for me, it's not about being accurate to the movies, it's about doing whatever comes to my head. Um, there's already a shot. I've already got some of these photos, like, mapped out idea wise. So once we get rolling here, everyone, I think we're gonna be good. So the downside of this fucking figure. God damn it. Oh, I love this figure, but I'm not gonna deny that this Scar King has some major issues. And the Haya one coming out soon is very intriguing because if they're both gonna be the same size anyways, like might as well just upgrade. At least for like the whip and stuff. I might keep it for the whip. I don't know if I'm actually gonna use the Haya Scar, but I want that whip. Because this whip sucks. That is unchanged. This whip sucks. It just sucks. Don't have like an actual grasping hand for the whip, which is a huge downside, which the Haya already has over the Monster Arts. But the whip looks better as well. See, look at that shit. And then this son of a bitch, his hand just fucking falls out all the time. That's probably been the most difficult thing with this photo set, is dealing with fucking Scar King's pain in the ass fucking engineering. You know. Let's see. I forget that he's not actually like. I don't have him locked in, so I gotta be careful. So let's see. We don't need Scar super in the photo. I just kind of want the crystal showing, once again reiterating that Scar is in fact controlling Heisei Space Godzilla. Ooh, man, this could be one of my favorite sets ever. But I think mainly Shimo's kind of slow, which is why she got controlled. Space Godzilla's too high IQ. Is he though? Is Space Godzilla that high IQ? Like, he's definitely smart, but is he like? Is he so smart that like? You know, I don't know. I don't know. He does do really smart things, but also like Space Godzilla itself is super slow. Like, if you can control it before it can fly away or start setting up shop, like Space Godzilla is kind of weak a little bit in my opinion. Definitely still cool. Doesn't take away the cool meter from him. I think y'all are gonna be so. Remember, okay. Once again, the webcam is off to the side, so the photo angle also is not gonna look correct for you guys. Um, Shit, I guess it doesn't make sense having Space Godzilla come out of the ground, huh? Also, that's just retreading what I did with Gomora, and I don't want to retread. Hmm. This is the spot like I kind of don't have ideas for, is like how uh I could go grab Red King really quick, take his rock, have Space Godzilla like telepathically throw the rock at Blazar from behind, and then do a reveal. I mean, Shimo could have just blasted Scar King while his back was turned. Space Godzilla. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. But I mean, like the whole reason Shimo doesn't do that, at least underground, is because um, because she's covered in lava and stuff. So her powers don't really, they work and don't work. So I don't know. It's weird. Their power scaling doesn't really work in the Godzilla in the Godzilla movies. Yeah, because I kind of know what I want the thumbnail for this set to be already. It's gonna be Scar and Space Godzilla, but I'll see. Well, shit, if I'm gonna have a rock hitting Blazar, how am I gonna get that shit to balance, too? God damn it. Hmm. 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 See, this is why this is a fun stream, because you guys can kind of like get a grasp of how like I'm doing things, and hopefully that inspires people and other ideas. Because I mean, like mainly like with my photography, I want to, it is fun doing like the movie stuff and then just expanding it based on the figures, but like it's really fun doing mixes like this because this fight makes no sense. Blazar probably 2v1 realistically within canon could take these both out, both of these Space Godzilla and Scar King out in an instant. All the Ultramen are like mega powerful compared to the Godzilla kaiju. It's not even close. Almost every Ultraman could beat every Godzilla villain and every Godzilla low effort. So like, I'm not going for canon stuff. Hey, Zilla, how's it going? Thanks for joining. We've got a really weird stream going on. I'm taking photos live on stream because this is what I want to do. This is what I want to do. Ow! I hit my mic. I need a claw. Let's try this. Let's make Blazar look like it's getting lifted into the air. How about that? How about we try that? One of these shitty Tamashi claws. God, I hate these things. These claws suck. I don't know if y'all know that, but these Tamashi, the claw portions on these suck. And if I wasn't using the flight form or the crotch grabber handle on the flying form destroyer, I'd do that, but oh well. We'll do this. I'll see if I can't like hide the arm a little bit. Although you guys know if you look at my photography, I'm never like typically always hiding the arm. Sometimes I get admittingly just really lazy and just don't care about hiding it. So I'm being honest. Gotta make it look like he's unexpectedly flying up, right? Gotta show him kicking. Right, here we go. I'm trying to get that Kiryu, the O2. Good luck. If you buy one over here, you're gonna be spending like $400 or $500. If you import one from Japan, you're gonna be spending like $250, but then shipping's fucking $100. So you're spending $350 anyways. And just is one of my favorite hobbies. It's just really fun. Oh yeah, cyber. Toy photography has always been fun. It's just the last few years for me, I've really been like, really getting into it, really trying to, take it to the next level per se. Let's just say that. So we won't have Space Godzilla on screen in this first shot, or maybe we will. Oh, I saw a comment from Shark. Let's see here that I missed. Blast. But if like in this universe, it's actually mind control and not just a shock collar. Yeah, yeah. I haven't like fully thought about like why this situation's going on. Like I have and I haven't. So in these photos, I'll just reveal some behind the scenes ideas. These effects, the energy effects, are when these are on Space Godzilla's under control from Scar, and that's going to play important here in a little bit. It's going to be a little important in a little bit. I'm just going to say that, because I know how this part 2 ends, and I know how part 3 kind of goes. So I've had this idea for like 2 days, 3 days, 2 or 3 days. So when Scar is manning Space Godzilla, these will be up. When I take these off, Space Godzilla's not being controlled anymore. So yeah, it's not a collar like Broly or Shimo. This is like an actual like mind control. I guess for me, like this crystal is one of Space Godzilla's crystals. It just has something, and somehow it lets Scar control it. So have you ever thought of doing stop motion? This is actually my response to stop motion. I myself am just too lazy and impatient for stop motion. So this has been my response is doing these like the reels and shorts, which I'm trying to slowly going to start integrating those into kind of what you see like in the Dragon Ball and Marvel communities where they're actually like they're not quite stop motion, but they're not photos or just videos of like scenes either. Like they're, they're doing all the fancy edits and stuff. That's what I want to build up to. It's just I as I've gotten older, I have way more passion just for the photography side of it than when I was growing up, where I was really into stop motion. Like I have 20 or 30 Bandai films out there on an old Mac, an iMac, at my mom's house. Well, it's probably gone or destroyed now. But I made a ton of movies back then. So you got this Space Godzilla whoop is oh, Space Godzilla is gonna be whipping. In this universe, Scar King is a multiverse of villains who pulls a string across every Godzilla. Not quite that high. So like for these stories, like they're loosely based on each other. So like all the things I do are all kind of related to each other and also not. Um, I'm definitely giving Scar a huge power boost, though. Don't get me wrong. Kind of like he's still weak. Like there, if if Scar doesn't call space, Blazar is beating him in 3 or 4 more photos, which is why he needs someone so strong. And although I did want to do Shimo, I have another photo idea set with Shimo that I think is going to be a little bit more interesting than if it was just Scar and Shimo versus Blazar here. So I'm really trying to twist things, like Rulers of Earth type of mindset where I'm just taking things and doing it. Eventually, the big idea is to make a series like this through photos, kind of like a manga, except through Instagram posts, that will be a continuous story from part A to post A to post Z, and then so on and so forth. I just don't have that complete story thought out yet. I do have ideas, I do have notes. There is something I've been working on since pre -1 story wise that basically will be, kind of swallow this stuff up. So in a few years, we might, I might do this again, but maybe it'll be stop motion, maybe it'll just be an evolved form of what we're doing right now. Could be. I haven't decided yet, though. I haven't decided yet, but it's those are definitely like the implications. Shark, you're getting what I'm laying. You know, you get what I'm doing. So, and you guys do all of y'all in the comments. You guys have good ideas. I just try to be careful because there are plenty of Godzilla content creators that do this type of stuff as well. So the problem is like not only trying to man, this photo kind of sucks ass. Um, um, not only is it trying to do this, but also not copy what's come beforehand. You know, so yeah, that'll be a fun reveal photo. That is definitely not my lead photo, but makes sense. Yeah, thank you. Wait, is the same universe where Suko 2v1 destroy a the same universe 2v1 destroy a Mega Gearus? That's the Suko verse. That's the Suko verse, which will also be its own thing. I actually do have some fun, like more like comedy, like parody post ideas that'll probably fall like not into the series, but will be their own unique things, which will probably be Suko based. That is something I have toyed around about, and I do have some photos like that. I wish, dude. If I was so financially comfortable, I'd cut apart a second Mega Gearus to put a set of armor for Suko. But you see, that's the thing with Supernova, though. We might be seeing a different Suko. Maybe Suko might be older, like a teenage, and be closer to like Scar King size than Supernova. So like all these ideas are here, and they're kind of already giving me the idea, and I don't want to say like they're giving me the characters and the materials to be able to continue this for a long time. So because there's something crazy with the -1 and now the -0 design that I think that idea that I've had. Once again, before -1 was even out, I had this idea. I was working on this idea while I was sitting at um working at Target in the morning, waiting for -0 to come out. Like I've had this idea. It's been plaguing me for years, and I've just never had the ability to bring it out. And now I'm kind of getting there. We're getting close to it, right? We're getting close. Okay. So with this photo, so obviously Space Godzilla's picked up Blazar, and we're not gonna be on time. It's already 5 o'clock, so yeah, we're not gonna have this post ready, which is fine. I'm going to do a photo of just Blazar falling into the ground. Do you guys know that? That's like I feel like that's my signature photo, is showing a character getting thrown back into the ground, or like, big explosion pieces. I feel like are probably like one of the tall tale signs that it's a photo from me. I have plenty of those different variations and different styles, because that's what I have. I have explosion stuff. So let's do a new one, but let's change it up a little bit. Right? Let's try to do something different than I've done before. So I've done like, Blazar hitting, or not Blazar, but a person hitting like a standing wall. But maybe that's what we do this time. Maybe. Do we do that one again? Do we reuse? Because, like, the point of part 2 here of this story is Blazar was winning, and now Blazar is losing bad and fast, right? So I need to show that by having Blazar get his ass kicked. that's that's the whole point of the story, is it's Blazar getting his butt kicked for part 2. Okay, it's not gonna go well for Blazar. Spoiler alerts. But some might say it might not go well for another kaiju as well at some point. So yeah, let's do this. Let's set this up. Let's give it some stability like this. So that way this doesn't fall on us, and it can hold the weight. Right? There we go. See, look at this concoction. I've been eyeing those Alpha Max Ultraman figures. Oh yeah, dude, those look so cool. I don't personally think I'm gonna be buying any, but like if I were to branch out into Tamashii products, those would probably be some of the first ones I choose. if I'm being honest. So those are really, really cool. Let's see here. How do I want to do this? I want Ultraman to kind of be sitting in it like a chair, but we also don't want to, like, have too many, when the photo's taken, you won't hopefully see the arms, So maybe that's what, I haven't done like one where someone gets thrown halfway through the wall, like he's coming out of it. Dragon Ball Z style, Super Saiyan 2 Goku versus Majin Vegeta style, right? Right. So we'll do this. Pop Blazar in here. Hopefully don't chip any more paint off this figure, because that's the reason I don't pose Blazar very often, is he really, like, he has some issue of, like, paint chipping. This figure the paint just chips and chips and chips on it. It pisses me off, because it's such a pretty figure, such an intricate paint job, but there's no point if my shoulders have rubbed off all the blue and red, and the thighs are losing all their blue and red. Like, it's just, like, oh, it looks cool, but I wasn't able to pose it, which is the whole point of this figure, is to be able to pose it, just by, like, moving things around. It's not like Shimo, where you have to throw things at Shimo to get her paint to chip. At least, in the areas where it matters. She still chips pretty easy. So, what's that ground effect from? It is what is it called? It's a figure arts effect. It's just one they haven't done in a while. Let me look it up on BBTS. I think they still have it up. I think it got a reissue like a year ago, 2 years ago. Ooh, 75 is back up for pre-order on BBTS. So is the junior set. If you guys are looking for it, Monster Arts wise. Not that I'm sponsored by BBTS, but I want to, like, if I can help you guys get your figures, like, I would rather do that than, you know, hype things. Even if I'm not, like, yeah. Tamashii Effect Impact. So this is the Impact effects. Oh, they don't have the beige one in stock. They have the gray one. So it looks like this beige one hasn't been reissued, but they do have the gray one. They have this one up. So I recommend it. I recommend it. 2014 will go back in stock once BBTS gets their inventory. So this is my guess. A lot of the standards, that's how they've been working with BBTS. There's nowhere to buy them right now since they just kept orders up. I think 2014 is sold out everywhere. But once again, once it releases at the end of the month, there should be more options. I'll say it like that. There should be more options to buy it, hopefully. Let's do this. Okay. Because I don't really need to do a photo of, like, Blazar getting thrown. Like, we know what happened. You know, obviously Blazar's been tossed. He's not having a good time. Oh, yeah, that's a great photo. See here. Yeah. No! Goddamn 1080p. Oh, is he on E-Night Media? There you go. That's the cheapest you're going to get him US side, so there is no tariff charge in those, even though it says that it doesn't include the tariff charges. So, unless one of the new tariff, the new 12% messes with that, but it shouldn't. So, since that was up for solicitation in March, right? No, that was like January. January? I think so. Yeah, January, I think, for those two. No, it had to be way sooner than that. Never mind. That would have been like May. So like October? October, November? I can't remember when I got those. Well, I do remember when I got those. Kind of. I know I was working at Planet Fitness. So. Do you remember that? I remember I was walking out to my car because it was cold. I was starting the car. I remember. I remember. Because I almost missed out. Because those two were, for some reason, Hobby Genki was like super. They didn't get them in for like 2 hours after they were supposed to drop. And I remember the whole shift, I was just sitting there doing the work that I was supposed to be doing. But when I could, I would refresh the page to see if they wanted to stock. And I remember I almost missed out on getting both of them on Genki initially because I didn't want them to be in the same order. I wanted them to ship when they were supposed to ship. And with Genki, I think you have to make 2 separate orders if you don't want them to be shipped together. So, yeah, pretty sure. So yeah, I had them in 2 separate orders, and I think I almost missed out on 2014. I think it was, but obviously I got it. It's paid for. It'll be here at the start of September for me. Start of September. Let's see here. All right, now I need to do a big standoff post with these two. With our villains, the antagonists. Which I'm a little sad that I didn't start out with that one because I did have a really good photo for Space Godzilla, or a really good post for Space Godzilla. But we rockin'. I really like that the Space Godzilla's head doesn't pop off like the first one. I really like that. That is a big, huge plus. Big, huge plus, right? Let's take our first photo of Scar this session. Pop off the hand with the whip because it's annoying as shit. Pop off the hair. So what do you think? Should I have Scar and Space Godzilla roaring at the camera and not have Blazar included, or should I have Blazar kind of like in the foreground, blurred out, looking up at these two, just like obviously about to make his day really difficult. Really difficult. And these freaking elbows on Scar, man. Oh, why do they do it like this? I should pop these off and see why these elbows are so limited. Like, there's no reason these elbows should only bend like that. These should be going flat up against the arm. Got the LED upgrade kit for my Ultraman reissue. It gives them LED sights and the color timer. Whoa! I didn't even know that there was a replacement set for the new Shinko Seiho Ultraman already. Damn, I might need to look that up. I didn't import. I just got to look. 75 is going to be end of September, October time. So, 2014, I have no idea. 2014 might just show up at US retailers because it's been so late, but I don't think so because once again, it sounded like 2014 had an issue with its box. It had to be something that they had to pull it for and then rerun it for nearly 3 freaking months. 3 months almost. Let's see. I want to try something a little different here with Scar. It's not something I can really do with his current articulation. We'll see. Well, not necessarily Scar's articulation fault. It's more the wire and the material of the whip. Because they made the whip a good material, but because it's such a good material, it's actually not fucking malleable as much. It doesn't like to stay. It bends backwards. See? Like, I can fold it down, but it doesn't retain that shape, and it slowly starts going back to its original shape. So, it's for the first version, Toku Collectibles. Okay, okay. Well, the regular one and the new one are basically the same. So, but I'll still give that a try. I wouldn't mind making my original 66 Ultraman be a little extra special as well. So have the one that I can put lights behind it, and then have the one that magnetically lights up. That's really cool that I think the Blocky's Marvel Rivals Ultron is like that, right? The new one, the Legend class that just got announced. I think that one has magnetic lights. I saw someone make a video and they flicked right in front of it, or they tapped the figure and then it started lighting up. So, ooh, behind the scenes, yes, Adam, yes. Yes, behind the scenes, I need to do photography. So why not photography me, or why not live stream me doing photography? You know, give the people what they want. Maybe. I don't know if the people want this. Definitely not on a 1080p camera like this, but hey, you work with what you got. It's either we do it like this or I don't do it at all, and I would much rather just try it, I'd rather have streams that look kind of amateur like this in the beginning, and then in a year when I have more of the equipment I would like to have upgraded, then we can you know then we can see the comparison, see the growth, better than me just not doing anything for too long, for my channel at least. Like that. Does that make sense? Obviously it's not going to make sense for you guys. Hey, Stop Motions, how's it going? Thanks for coming in, watching some photography. Wait, when will, for US retail? Yeah, September, October, Shark. It depends on who you pre-ordered from. If you pre-order from like E-Night Media, they might get it like the last week of September for 75. But that's the thing, is that 2014 and 75 US retail should be landing at the same time. So regardless, if you have to buy one than the other, they're both dropping at the same time for Japan and the US. So let's see if I can make this make sense. This shot. Right? Because Blazar hasn't really started like fighting yet. Like I mean he has, but like he's not like up as oh god. And that's the other thing with Blazar that I don't like. He's got these like little he's too reflective with the lights. He's got that little sleeve, but it's not soft goods. So it doesn't like his hand can't go up, so he can't do some of the typical like Ultraman poses. And it's really frustrating. Oh, oh this figure's awesome, but it also sucks. Maybe I should review Blazar. E-Night is is a little slower, but I have more than time. Happy to wait, yeah. Yeah. You're gonna if you want it for the most inexpensive, the most inexpensive it's E-Night Media. They're the cheapest in the US to get it. That them or Kappa Hobby, I believe, are about evil or not evil, equal equal on each other. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna have to catch up with that soon. Okay, so let's see this. Let me angle it in the camera. Once again, if you guys would like to see the results of the stream, go onto my Instagram and you know, then you'll get the results. Let's see. Maybe do this. I don't want this photo to be too busy. And with Blazar, it's kind of becoming a little busy, I'm not going to lie. It's a little busy with Blazar. Posing sucks. Posing's difficult. There we go. Maybe not have him hold the crystal so high. That'll help. Much better. Much better. So, yeah. Well, and this doesn't work because these two are too far apart. So let me once again, because people are probably going to be, you know, whether they actually comment or not, they're going to be like, no way, Scar King's controlling Space Godzilla. Scar King is controlling Space Godzilla at this point. There we go. There we, oh yeah. That's the shot right there. Boom. That is it, folks. We might have the lead photo. We might. Oh, and my phone's being stupid. Gotta reset everything. There we go. I think we have the shot, folks. I think we have the lead shot already. Ordered 75, hopefully still arrive. So hopefully they still arrive at the same time. They should be, because they should be on the same honestly, if you're a US customer, it's going to be rough unless you've prepaid for these, because the Shin set and these two should be all on the same uh, freight ride over. They should be. But I mean, I say that, but then BBTS and half the US hasn't gotten the God Goku yet, and that's been out for a month and a half in Japan. So, you know, the US store, I don't think said that they're getting the God Goku soon. So, you know, because that's why I haven't gotten the God Goku or the blue Super Saiyan Blue Gokus, because I'm waiting for BBTS to have the base Goku, God, and Blue forms all at once, so I can buy them all together. Hopefully. Um, so, all right, but I won't be able to do that for like another 2 months. We got gigantic shins, which I emailed Hobby Genki the other day. I'm actually let me take this off the screen. Let's see if they sent me an email. Not yet. No. Okay. So I still don't know how much gigantic shin is to ship from them, and then BBTS will be getting my standard gigantic shin in probably soon. So finances. Finances. I don't want to do the gripping hand. I guess we're gonna do this hand again. Yeah, so I want to make it look like Blazar is trying to hit Space Godzilla. I'm gonna take Scar off screen here for a second in this photo, mainly because I don't want to, you know, Scar got the limelight, so I want to make sure Space gets a good amount of limelight here. But I also, you know, this is a double team. We all know that Scar is a sneaky kaiju, likes to double team or more. He likes to have his own workers, doing things. So what do you guys think? You guys down with this weird toy photography idea? What do you guys think? Scar, Blazar, and Space Godzilla. A very weird set, right? Very weird. Oh, maybe this will be the thumb. Maybe I don't even have Scar on this thumb. This shot looks pretty good. I think that's just because this Space Godzilla specifically is just really, really photogenic. If I'm not lying, I love this Space Godzilla. Because we all know, if you know Blazar, Blazar has another form, which the Feridian armor is being brought out here. So I gotta make it seem like it's necessary. I don't want it just to be like a slight back and forth between these two. I make it really weird. If I had Sailor Moon and Batman, I probably would, but enjoys the weird collaborations. Nice. Thanks, Shark. If I had figures, maybe. Well, I don't know. I can't really get like actual human-sized characters like into kaiju situations unless it's like actually like how it's supposed to be, you know? So we'll see. We'll see. That I would need green screen for, and I'm not at green screen level yet, so which is why like you get these photos where there's plain and no buildings, or I've been incorporating my building collection in. But that's mainly because I'm trying to, you know, next year I'm going to focus a little less on toys. And I'm going to be focusing on like upgrading my photography setup, getting lights, getting buildings, getting foliage, getting things like that to help really, you know, bring my photography to its another, a new level. So, God, this whip sucks. This whip sucks. It might not break and rip, but it can't fucking it can't go on the figure worth shit. See? This is what I was saying earlier. Sometimes after some time, like your feelings change on figures, whether positively or negatively. And I'm not gonna lie, this whip is annoying the hell out of me. It is, in fact, annoying the shit out of me a little bit. But, it is what it is. So, yeah. What do you guys want to see next for photo shoots? Do we want to see more streams like this? Has this been fun so far? We're an hour and 13 in. Has it been fun watching me just kind of play with toys? Seeing the behind the scenes, what goes into like all my photo shoots, because this is what I do. When I get on screen, it's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna hop off and photography. This is literally what I do. Sometimes I'll be on Discord with the homies and stuff, but like besides that, this is it. Like this is what I do. I'll have YouTube going, which obviously I don't have YouTube going due to copyright reasons. Or like watching a movie. Sometimes I'll watch the movie or shows that the characters I'm photographing are based off of. I didn't do any research for this one, so I don't want to like redo the same photos or the same poses I did in part one, though. Let's see here. Just gotta change this one up a little bit. I do have a photo of Scar King kicking Blazar. See, this is where like me not having any digital art program sucks, because that also limits. That's why like there isn't effects or aura or anything, or like I don't do more beam effects unless it's like with an actual like Tamashi beam, because I don't have the skill yet to do it, nor do I really have like the ability, because I would want to do that on the PC, but it can take hours to get the photos from my iPhone onto my PC. You know, when I went and cleaned things out, I cleaned up my PC, I deleted a bunch of stuff that I didn't need, moved things around. It still takes like an hour and a half to get 5 photos from my phone to my PC. It's so dumb. So frustrating. Because like I would love to just be like, okay, while we're waiting, while I'm doing the next pose, I can transfer the photo over so we can see the final result. So I can show you guys the final photo, in, you know, actual quality rather than just looking at my phone. But, you know, things I'm gonna have to look into, figuring out a better way. And I don't mind. I want to become a better content creator, so it's also why we're doing these types of weird things. Or weird things. These type of streams. Like I'm trying to expand. I don't want to just be toy reviews on the page and then like toy news live streams. Like I want to do a little bit more, as I've talked about over the years. But that's also why we're going to be having some different videos. If you guys didn't check it yesterday, I did post the top 8 2026 SH Monster Arts release tier list video yesterday, and that video is doing really well. Thank you guys. But I take the first 8 reveals this year, or releases, pin them all up against each other. I think, without spoiling the video, I think the number 1 slot's gonna surprise people. So maybe not. I don't know. Or I think it did a little bit. I was surprised Suko was a number 1. Well, that's because Suko was on last year's. So, because I still counted Mechagodzilla 21 and Suko and Mothra as 2025 because I just got them like right at the start of 2026. Kind of like what we'll be doing this year, or for this year's tier list. The 2026 tier list won't come out until 2027 because the likelihood of me getting Biollante, Ava Goji, and Tokyo SOS Godzilla before New Year's, and then getting all 3 reviews up and getting photos and time with the figures is unlikely. So the 2026 completed tier list will come out. God damn it, I can't get him to balance. That'll be coming out in the middle of January. So I'm still surprised he didn't even say, even though it breaks the rules, he's that good. I should have. That was a missed opportunity by me, but I'm trying to, Suko is still on his vacation right now. I'll put it like that, from the channel. Suko is enjoying some shelf time with Kong and Godzilla and stuff. So there's so many photos and skits and stuff of that figure I never posted. I don't think they'll ever get posted. I think we're just gonna make even better ones. Some of those are probably gonna stay hidden. But damn it, dude. Scar, can you... I really don't want to have to use a Tamashi arm. Okay, I just have to change up the pose. That's just what it is. That's just what we're gonna have to do. We're gonna have to change up the pose. But I don't want to... I didn't post that photo, actually. So maybe we'll do that one. Also, I've made a huge mistake. I haven't taken a single video of these. Which the whole point is to do shorts and photos. So part 2 is already behind. I don't know what the hell I'm going to do. I guess maybe I'll only do short versions of not every set. I don't know. I'm already... Ooh, that's rough. Or I'll just have to do one... I'll have to do them back to back. So I'll do the photo set and then I'll do the reel. Maybe I'll do it like that. I don't know. Time will tell. Time will tell. Being a content creator isn't hard. It's just I'm a very disorganized, all over the place person, so it makes this harder. Like, we could have had this set done and uploaded on Instagram already, but I'm just like, I'm a silly little Billy, I'm a silly little guy. There we go. The photo that didn't get posted, photo of Scar punching at Blazar and he misses, and now this time he gets his nice little wallop in. There we go. Gets his nice little wallop up. Man, I really hope. Well, we're probably never getting another Scar King in the Monster Arts line, I'm going to be honest. But I'm hoping if we do, they go back and they update this figure a little bit. Give it some better feet. Better elbows. Because, man, does this figure kind of struggle. Definitely because of the new age of articulation, like things like Scar are kind of gonna move down on my list a little bit because they you know age man, they get aged out. Let's see here. There we go. Let's see. Missing anything? I'm still surprised. Oh yeah, I spend a lot of time balancing my figures too. Yeah, there's just like they. Mm, I mean, it kind of doesn't help. So this is like my VTuber Cinder Valentine's Day, mouse pad just flipped upside down. So I did this because Legion, has her pointy claws, and I didn't want her on her stand during the Gamera, the 30th anniversary of the Gamera Advent of Legion photo shoot. So I wanted her to be able to sit on something, without the stand where I didn't have to worry about chipping up her claw pieces. And this was my idea, and I've just kind of kept it here, which is why it's so damn dirty. I tried cleaning it off, and it really didn't clean very well. Yeah. So I'm using this. So this is kind of some of the problem is, this is foamy, so it's really hard to kind of balance these figures. So the scenario reminds me of AGL Pycon under Unit Super, where the drops a building, Pycon throws a rock on top of it. Yeah. Tamashii teases an event 2 years in advance for their greatest reveal yet, and Scar King with better elbows. If they eventually were, and I mean they did it with Mechagodzilla, so I'm not saying that it's completely out of an option. But if they wanted to do a 2.0 or a slightly updated Scar and do a decisive battle version, the only things I'm going to request: better elbows, better feet, a better whip, and I need a smiling head, and that's it. Throw these two heads in there. Don't update the heads. It's not necessary. And then give us a good smiling head, and you'll get another 130, 140 bucks from me, Tamashii. Because that's the thing with the decisive battle version. If it were a thing, this Scar King comes with the Beast Glove. So the next Scar King that they do won't have the Beast Glove included with it, which means it has to come with more. So we get the Avenger Doomsday Timer for decisive battle version. That would be funny. But I don't think we're gonna it took a long time for Mechagodzilla 21. I could see us, waiting 10 years before we get another Scar. And that's if we ever get another Scar. They might just be like, here's the one that we had to do, the obligatory new movie figure. And then they might just let Haya hold the other one. Because that's kind of the nice thing. Tamashii doesn't have to bother themselves with the low tier MonsterVerse stuff now. They can just be like, all right, Haya's gonna do it, and now we can put some more focus into the main stuff. So, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. It would look like they're not working that nicely together, but that seems to be more of a Haya thing than a Monster Arts thing. So, Monster Arts seemed pretty pretty clear that they were just going to let bygones be bygones, and then Haya has to, you know, do what they got to do. Brand cannibalization, as Kaiju Canuck put it, which is the most apt way of putting it, is brand cannibalization. Why let both companies succeed when one can try to outdo the other and end up kind of just screwing things over for both companies? Why not? Even though one is, heralded by Yuji Sakai and Bandai, so it's not like Tamashii, Monster Arts is just gonna go away. They survived a good 5-year period of drought, as a reminder. So they did survive. They survived, so not too worried. Oh. Yeah, so this is probably where I do 1 or 2 more photos of base Blazar, and then I'm gonna show off their Tiamat in the upcoming weeks. Yeah, yeah. Tiamat's definitely going to be done by Tamashii Nations, 100%. No, no, not even close. I think at this point it's clear. Nothing with Monarch, nothing with. Well, I think there is some sort of brand deal with Playmates as well that says that if another company were to do those figures, I think they can't bring them to the U.S. They can't sell them to the U.S. So I think it's not only Tamashi's not interested or not focused on it, but I think they can't either. So I might be mistaken. Bandai kind of holds all the cards. So it's always Bandai. Oh fudge! Where did that fist go? I didn't go far. Dude, I'm just dropping stuff. Dropping stuff. Waiting to order the Haya Tiamat until they reveal their translucent or blacklight version. Yeah, I personally, for me, if I were to get a Tiamat, it needs to not be the colors that the current one is. It just does not look pretty, in my opinion. For me, for what I want, not what I want for a figure. It might be accurate to what the model looks like, not underwater, but I really want that underwater look. So, because it's not like Tiamat comes out of the water very often. So, but that's just for me. So yeah, they'll probably do a 2.0 and it's going to look better and be way more pink than green. And they might get a customer out of me. They might. We'll see. Let's see here. Okay. I want to make sure that I'm showing you guys this on the screen too. So this shot. Oh yeah. We've got some gloating going on. I'm probably going to make this part 2 a little bit shorter than part 1. I think I didn't post all of the photos, but I think the original post had 11 photos in it, which is a lot. That's a lot for me. That's typically part 1 and part 2, but I don't want to do this as a 4-day set, A lot of people get disinterested of these sets after 2 or 3 days, so. I'll also take translucent over accurate for any figure. Yeah, same. Plus, I want to see the articulation. I'm curious and worried about it, so. But, that's why it's also, a few months delayed, too, I think. Or is that not, is Tiamat still not supposed to be out yet? Was that a Q3 2026 figure? Because I don't see them, doing a lot of changes on it. Kind of like Scar King. Which is the whole reason, by the way, why some of these figures are coming out early, quote unquote. Those are the figures that they don't get enough, challenge on them being too different. So then they are like, okay, we don't have to edit it as much. People are happy with it, so we're just dropping it. Which is probably why Scar was so, behind, because they were, they kind of just worked from the Monster Arts forward. They saw what people didn't like about the Monster Arts, and then they just did what they wanted to do, so, which is fine. I still don't like the colors on it. I think the whites are a little too white, but at the same time, I think this Scar King, like the grays are a little too gray too. So, god damn this thing, dude. Maybe they need to upgrade the wrist joints as well. Like, ah, and they need to fix this hand. God damn it. Thing just pops right off. It doesn't click in. It's so annoying. The way to fix this, you know, I talk about joint fixes. I would have to clear coat the inside of this hand because I can't make this ball joint tighter because all the other hands don't pop off like this one. This one just falls off even if the whip isn't in it because it just sucks, right? It's a shitty connection. So they give it the articulation, they don't actually give like the hand enough room to actually articulate. Okay. Like that's the problem with this figure. It's the thing that I want to see if Haya can get it right as well. Just because their promos did doesn't mean that the actual figure will necessarily. So I want to wait. I'm gonna have to do something different with this with the belt, I think. So, but like, man, this figure should not be this limited. Should not. Oop. Let's see. I just hope Super Mecha G drops early. Maybe. I don't think so, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Just got the Haya Monster X great figure. Yeah, it looks epic. It's just a little too large. Just a little too large. I was hoping it was just slightly smaller. It looks like it's a little too out of scale for me. So I'd have to start a Haya collection. And I am nowhere. Well, of course, the few releases that I did want are now all sold out and pretty expensive. Like people are charging Monster Arts prices for the Godzilla 2000 already. So, you know, it just is what it is. Maybe next year. So. Let's see. Something like this. See how much I have to like the hoops I have to go through to pose Scar. Like this whip causes issues. It's just not a good whip. It's just not a good whip. It's too thick. The material won't likely rip, but it's so thick that like it weighs a lot and it just throws the balance of this figure so off. Like it's hard to pose. It's just hard to pose. See, look at that. I switched to the other side because he's leaning too far one way, and now he's leaning too far the other way, and then the other way, and then the other way. I can't even like use Blazar as like a balance. Yeah, toy photography is hard. Just so many joints to just get the right position. Yeah, that's probably like what my really big complaint should be is they maybe over-engineered it, but it also doesn't help that the hips and the knees are loose-ish. They're not like loose, but they're not like stable either. And that, I mean, some of that just comes down to the worst designed feet ever. Like, well, okay, I say that, but the 2024 Kong has even worse feet by Haya. The Haya 2024 Kong has even worse feet than the Scar King, so, you know. So like, it's just like, it's hard. You know, you want to make it accurate. You don't want to give these kaiju big clown feet, but you also need them to balance. So like, that's where the Heisei suits and the Millennium suits come in because they have big old feet, but it's part of the design and it looks good because the rest of the suit looks huge. Whereas like these CGI model characters, they can do not accurate designs or, you know, or excuse me, super accurate designs and then this photo is going to be so worth it once it's done, but like I need to get this I need to get it done. Oh wait. Sorry. Space Guzzle's got to go in the back. Also, I'm not. Oh! I said his head doesn't pop off. His head immediately pops off. I am purposely keeping the red dorsals of Space Godzilla off screen because he's not damaged or anything yet. So fucking hell. Oh, here's a 2.0 that needs to happen. We need a 2.0 with this Space Godzilla. Space Godzilla needs a 2.0. Just so many joints. Yeah. Yeah. And that's the thing with the Haya too, like all the joints, they're not like the same exact style of cut, but they are the same joints. Like all the joints are in the same spots with the Haya. And that's why I'm worried about the Haya. I'm worried that the elbows aren't going to be able to close like the Monster Arts. Because the Monster Arts looks like it can close. You know, the elbows can close more, and then they ended up not being able to. I'm afraid that the Haya is going to have that same issue. So, we'll see. Okay, we got it. We got it. I need to take the photo and fast. That's actually a really good photo. Don't tip over scar, please. Thank you. Let's see here. Haya is secretly my most wanted release from them. Hi. Oh, Kamunga. I mean, we might get it. If one of the two companies is going to complete the Final Wars roster, it's probably going to be Haya. So, not saying that Tamashi might not do it. It's just going to be like a long time. So you earlier mentioned Movie Graphic plus Space Godzilla needs a 2.0. Hey Alex, how's it going? How's it going? Hello, hello. Oh yeah. Yeah, spoilers for the next photo set dropping in. Well, not on time today, but you know what? We'll do it. It's okay. It's already kind of like an unpopular flavor anyways. I notice on Instagram if I post anything with an Ultraman in it or anything that's like an unpopular monster, it's the posts don't do too well. So I'm, you know, I don't think I have to post this one on time today anyways. um I'm very excited. It's been fun hanging out with you guys for the last almost 2 hours, just sitting here playing with toys and talking toys. So you know what? Like this has been even better than I could have hoped. So thank you guys for chilling and hanging. Um, Earlier, yeah, Space Godzilla does need a 2.0. So I don't think they will because they obviously released this one and they could have easily, they had to change the body. Like the body sculpt is different. So like this would have been the time to do it. But yeah, you know, never know. Never know. There isn't a Space Godzilla they can do movie wise. We have them all now. You know, you get the first one or the special color version and then this one. So oh, what am I missing? What am I missing in Discord, Adam? Oh, Adam. Uh, well, I'll save that for in chat. But mm, it's too what? What's too thick? Huh? Huh? Out? You crazy? Oh, hey, someone else posted some Space Godzilla today. Oh, someone gave it a custom with ball joints that give the head and tail more articulation. Interesting. Interesting. I no, I'm never gonna customize my monster. It's like that. Oh. Oh, okay, okay. I see. I saw that message. Okay, I need to get off Instagram. 40 already? It's 5:40? Holy moly. Larissa's gonna be home in like 30, 40 minutes. Probably like 40, 45 minutes. Um, because it's 6 o'clock rush here, so. So we gotta get down on this. I need to get moving though. I've only got a little bit. I gotta make a post tonight. I've been I can't ruin my 3 week streak, you know. So I guess maybe what's gonna happen is I'm just gonna have to do some of this off screen. Off screen. Do it really quick before Larissa gets home. And then I'm gonna have to post it, and because I didn't record any short versions of these, you know, I'm gonna have to figure out what I'll do for a short. So that's okay though. That's okay. So I'm gonna make Blazar maybe a little bit smarter than in the show here. Um, I'm gonna show Space Godzilla is not like being controlled. Um, which, now we're gonna start showing off the red. That Space Godzilla is weakened, it's injured, it's irritated. We're gonna start showing the comparison between these two, and that's gonna give Blazar an idea here, which probably pretty obvious, I think. And then we'll probably end this stream with the spoiler photo, which I didn't reveal. So the climax of this part is right upon us. You'll see. This is why I chose Space Godzilla. Hopefully, if I can articulate this correctly. Yeah, because even here's the thing with Scar, and I know Scar doesn't do it in the movie. Scar can't even put its arms up to its chest to pound its chest, which it does do at one point in the movie. After the first battle is over in New Empire, it raises Kong's axe up. Oh no, he doesn't pump his chest at all. No. Oh shit. Well, still, something the figure should be able to do. Butterfly joints would do this figure. Actually, it could probably keep all of the limitations in the upper arms if it just had butterfly joints. If I could pull these arms out and over to the side, it'd probably be fine. But, that's just me saying that butterfly joints fixes everything. I love my butterfly joints on these figures. Godzilla 2000 has it, and now I just want it to stay. Let's see here. Let's show some Scar King abuse, because that's just what Scar King does. We all know this by now. Scar could have been a really, 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 really good MonsterVerse villain, and ended up kind of just being a pretty good one. I'd say better than the Mutos, but the Mutos aren't supposed to have human characteristics. Almost lost the whole damn figure. Yeah. And as time's going on, this hand is getting worse and worse at staying locked in, so. You piece of junk. Ugh. There we go. There we go. Now Scar's moving. Now Scar's moving the way it should. The whip is barely hanging on, but hey, you know what? The climax should be Blazar distracts them with a dance, and when Scar King swings to whip at him, Blazar ducks and the whip hits space. Well, so that's kind of about to happen here. Well, I mean, so for me, I put the Mutos under Scar, because at least, Scar has some intimidation and personality in, in the movie, in the first half of it, or the first half of Scar's appearance. There's some personality, him walking up and doing the Super Boo pose, that still is one of my favorite Monster Arts moments. And the cave fight is just spectacular. That whole scene is perfect. It's after that point, once Scar starts going to the Iwis in the Hollow Earth, that's when Scar loses all of his personality. And then he gets it a little bit in the final fight when he goes to wail on Suko for a moment, and then that's interrupted almost immediately. But I am kind of taking Katie. Kind of what is happening is Scar is whipping Space Godzilla. It's just it won't happen accidentally. Scar's more human-like, and Mutos are more of a threat. They probably came in. Uh, yeah, they. It's between them and Mechagodzilla because Mechagodzilla literally was about to kill Godzilla. And, I mean, even Space Godzilla technically as well. See, and this is like this should have been ball joints because then I could just remove a few notches off the whip so it would actually be the right, length. Because now it's too long for this shot. Like I have to have Scar so far back on Space Godzilla, or from Space Godzilla if I want the crystal part to whip Space Godzilla, which is the part I want it to. But honestly, that doesn't make sense because Scar doesn't want to, lose the crystal. He doesn't want to damage the crystal in this universe where, he's using it a lot more in it. Because that's something even in my photos I make reference of in the first part is Scar doesn't use that crystal head as a weapon for this little story here. I will do that. That looks better. So we're, got to make a villain look like a villain. See, and this is just going to be one of the shittier phone. Because like there was a photo draft. I had it almost mocked up before I didn't do the photo. And there was the idea was to have Scar riding on Space Godzilla at one point. But for Space Godzilla's dorsals in the back here to remain safe, I decided that it probably wasn't the smartest to try to hook up Scar on top of space like that. So, um, but I am in this universe like the main MonsterVerse. Scar is a villain just through and through. Like, he's whipping Space Godzilla to get Space Godzilla to do something, even though Space Godzilla has been doing what Scar has wanted so far in this photo shoot, and that's distract Blazar. But as previously described, this is more mind control rather than just having something that, you know, imprisons Shimo and, puts her in pain. So she's being controlled by fear. Space Godzilla is being controlled in this idea. So, Adam did come out and say Godzilla might have survived. Godzilla might have survived the kiss of death. No, he's not. No, he's not. Adam's stupid. Adam Wingard, not Thirsty Thursday Toys. Adam. Wingard is just sucking off Kong or Godzilla a little bit there. I don't agree with the man on that one. That sounds like a big load of bolonky to me. Godzilla is literally wriggling in fear as Mechagodzilla's prying his jaw open. Like, obviously, you're going to be afraid either way, but, like, realistically, a creature shouldn't wriggle in fear like that if it's not afraid of death, right? So, obviously, Godzilla was afraid of dying. So, I get he's the director, but he's done a lot of things like that where it's kind of just like, oh, well, actually, no. At least for me. In my headcanon, Godzilla was dead and dead to rights. Dead to rights. And that's okay. Like, that's the whole point. Greatest film is your next. Yeah. He did good on there. He just, not enough focus on the human characters. And the I don't want to say like the personification of Godzilla and Kong, um, just a little too much. Just a little too much. But screw it. Those movies are done, and now we have a new director, and Supernova is either going to do really well or really bad. And I am a little I'm a little bit more happy to know that Sam Neill is in a few other films besides Supernova. So now Supernova won't have as much pressure on it to be like a 99% like, Rotten Tomatoes score. Like people will be like, oh, well, we still got two more Sam Neill films or Sam Neill appearances. So now people won't be super critical of Supernova. So that fear of like, oh, this is his final fear or final film, for me at least, has gone away. Because there was like when he passed away, I obviously super sad. Um, I grew up with Sam Neill. Jurassic Park. You know, like Jurassic Park 3 is the movie I grew up on. It was Jurassic Park 1 and 2, or excuse me, 1 and 3. I didn't see Lost World until I was an adult, and I didn't have it until I was a teen. So I grew up on 1 and 3. You know, I didn't even know 2 was only Jeff Goldblum until I saw it. And initially, that made me not as happy about it because I liked Dr. Grant so much. Now as an adult, I'm like, I like all three of our main cast in the first movie, and sequentially every film they've been in. But initially, as a kid, a dumb kid, I didn't like it. I mean, I would still believe him Godzilla would have won if. Oh yeah, no, I would say Godzilla. If Godzilla didn't fight Kong, he would have still beat Mechagodzilla. But that movie plays it up as Godzilla cannot beat Mechagodzilla without Kong in that fight because of the fight. You know, it was recently revealed that there was a draft of the film where um they were explaining the Playmates figures that got leaked, the original plot of the film, and Kong was supposed to die against Godzilla. And then Mechagodzilla, instead of being charged by like the axe and stuff, it was charged off of Godzilla's energy, which is the brackets that we see on him in that leaked photo with like the red ribs. Those are actually brackets taking energy from Godzilla and putting it into Mechagodzilla. So, which thinking about it now is way cooler than what we got. But you know, Godzilla's atomic breath is just like a power to the Earth's core. So I mean, like that's cool too. So, um, Lost World is the only movie that I ever watched in the front row in theaters. Oh my goodness. That would be awesome. They did the most to make Kong seem important, but also did the most to show how weak he was, which they have been doing better at showing that Kong is stronger and giving him more credit. But, you know, now I think people are kind of tired of Kong, which I get and don't get. So, versus Godzilla, needed saving. Versus the Warbats, needed saving. Versus Godzilla again, needed saving. Yeah, yeah. Well, to be fair, the first fight they fight in the ocean, and Kong is not a water fighter, so he loses. He typically loses a lot of the fights that you know, yeah. He just Sharktopus no like monster versus mechas treatment, yeah. But the world needs him, yeah. The world needs Kong, and to be fair, like in Supernova, I think they're gonna show just about how rocked Kong can be. But we'll see. We'll see. We don't know. I would say now it's safe to assume we don't really know the plot for the new film because it's definitely changed by now. So definitely different. Because it's been a while since those like test audience screenings. It's been like 5-6 months. So it's definitely like you know definitely has changed, and I fear for the worst. I fear for the worst. Typically, these reshoots are not good. So. It's kind of like Scream 7, although I don't want to support that film as, you know, as much. Scream 7, it was supposed to end with it being revealed that Stu Macher was alive, and people just didn't understand it during the test screenings because they're not actual fans, that they ended up changing it for the average fans, and that's kind of why that whole movie kind of just sucks. That's why Scream 7 sucks, is because it wasn't made for the classic fans besides the Stu parts. The rest of it was made for general audiences to understand, and that's what made it bad. Yeah, yeah, there's Matthew Leonard did an interview recently during a 30th anniversary Scream panel and admitted that the original ending to 7 was a after credit scene of Stu watching TV like in an abandoned house, um, or something like that. So, yeah, Macher was supposed to be alive, And now he still could be the, but I don't think so. Also, it sounds like 8 is already going into terrible area because Sidney Prescott or Nev Campbell isn't following the Scream production team or pages anymore. And the last time she did that is when she revealed that she wasn't part of Scream 6. So, yeah, which, as much as I love Scream, can't really support it right now as long as it's attached to Paramount because of the politics that surrounds Paramount and everything. So I actually don't know if I'm going to be supporting Scream 7 anyways. So, yeah, the villain reveals in 7 were laughable. That is putting it nicely. I remember sitting there in the theater and watching the reveal and I was like, I don't even like I don't even yeah, I don't even know. She dies in the opening screen scene. I don't. I think they're gonna do that, but they're not. She's not attached to it at all anymore. Supposedly, is the idea is that she's not gonna be in it at all. So my guess is they're probably gonna kill her off screen, and then it'll be Tatum, which is cool, and that's what I want. But I need. Ooh, that was a really good just like pick up and pick up and shoot. I thought this was like a barrier or something. I didn't realize this is just the effect that he pulls his finisher out with. So, or one of the finishers, I should say. It's not the only one. Oh, that's right. Sorry, but yeah, the reveal 7 just I. So it's been on Paramount Plus, and we have Paramount Plus through Larissa's job for free. We've had multiple conversations of being like, oh, we should rewatch Scream 7 because we actually have not rewatched it yet. And we both keep kind of just looking at it and being like, eh. Like, I would rather watch 6 or 4 than 7. And I've only seen 4 twice, I think. And 4 is way better than I think people gave it credit for originally. Same thing with 3. I think 3 and 4 are way better. I go back and forth with 6. I like it, but then I don't like it. Or I like it, and then there's some things I just don't care about as much. So, but we'll see. We'll see. We also got Terrifier 4 coming out next year, right? So we've got some options. We've got some options. We've got some non-horror options, which the Terrifier camp's also kind of in like some backwater stuff as well. So like, all the new horror franchises that I want to watch, all are kind of like struggling. Park, yeah, 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 yeah. I agree. Three's really interesting. I find 3 to be interesting. Missed out on Space Godzilla. Oh no, Space Godzilla's still here. We're getting to the end of the stream. What time is it? It's 6 o'clock already. Just about to be 6. Yeah, I'm so late on these photos. So if you guys do have Instagram, I'm gonna be pushing my Instagram way more because I'm doing things on my Instagram more than I am on YouTube. Not because I'm falling out with YouTube or anything. It's just extra content. It's mainly photos, but like I post things on my stories. Although I do get pretty political on Instagram, so if you're trying to avoid that in general, maybe not follow my Instagram. Maybe not. But oh, damn, I don't want this. I've been doing a lot of like Blazar in the right, like it is in the left hand side of the shots. I don't want to do too many of those. It gets really repetitive, which I know is a professional like camera angle thing, but like the rule of 180. If your hero's on one side and your villain's on the other, you typically don't like switch those sides. You keep them both. You keep your hero on the left, you keep your villain on the right. But you know, we're not here to follow the photography rules. I'm here just to do the things that I want to do. And if that means I get worse photos, then oh well. I don't care. I'm here just to have fun. Take photos and have fun. I don't think about this too much. I try not to, at least. Try not to. I'm mad I couldn't get that Space Godzilla. Dude, yeah. Oh, you missed out on the Space Godzilla, like purchasing it? Yeah. I almost did as well. I'm only lucky that I had payment plans at the time open to be able to buy this. I would also not have this Space Godzilla. Thanks, PayPal. This I bought the final one from Beast of the East in 2024, right before G Fest in May. If you guys have been uh, fans of the channel for that long, you guys would remember when the I talk about it in the upcoming box video a little bit. Um, the Monster Arts collection as a whole only got restarted because I saw the Mechagodzilla 2 Garuda and Fire Rodan set at box lunch, and when I saw the box, I was like, I really need that box. I really need that box in my hands. And I bought it from Amazon. I bought the Shinjuku 91 Godzilla. And then I went to Beast of the East. I bought this Space Godzilla and I bought Mecha King Ghidorah. And I don't regret it. Spent like $1,000 that week when I really shouldn't have. But it's so worth it. I don't regret it at all. Zero regret. I still don't. Because that I'm now collecting monster arts because of that choice. So, you know, I've got zero regrets on being a monster arts guy. I have been having fun the last 2 years of hard collecting. Busy with school, had no money. Yeah. Well, once might get a movie graphic Space Godzilla. You know. Now, probably not going to be movie colors and probably not going to have many accessories, if any. But hey, you know, Space Godzilla. It'll probably be the poster color version, but you never know. Like, although we do have although we do have like all the inform, inform, uh, or in movie canon forms, quote unquote, for Space Godzilla. Like, it has been well over a decade since we've had a non-weakened Space Godzilla in the Monster Arts line. So they could, instead of doing a poster color version or a Trendmasters variant, they could, it wouldn't be called Trendmasters, obviously, um, but they could just make it another like a nighttime, base form. So, but I don't think it'll come with accessories. So don't think so. Because it sounds like the only reason why Kiryu came with accessories is because those are necessary for Kiryu. Like, those are necessary Kiryu accessories where, like, Godzilla, Tamashi has made it very clear they don't consider beams necessary for Godzilla, necessary accessories. Even with some of the Heat Ray charge up versions. Um, so, Space Godzilla doesn't really have anything that's necessary. They're probably not going to do the damage crystals if it's not, like, looking red. So, but I might be talking out my butt too. Might be talking out my butt. I'm very curious. I don't think the Articulation series has released any details about his interview or about the interview with Tamashi yet. So, um, you know, we'll see. We'll see, because it sounded like he was asking a lot of his plans were asking a lot of movie graphic plus questions. So, um, we'll see. We will see what they say. Let's see here. Oh, I am gonna have to drill a hand more necessary than split draw. I yep. Yep. I mean, I said it in the top 10 video, like, or the top 8 so far. Like, it's kind of crazy, kind of wild that the split jaw isn't a necessary um accessory for Shin Godzilla. But I'm, were they wrong? I don't think so. I don't, like, in a perfect world, probably they probably weren't wrong. Still shitty. Still shitty until we get that split jaw, you know. Until we get it. Don't worry, I'm hoping for it. If I'm ever able to talk to them directly, like if they haven't released it at that point, like that's gonna be the one thing I'm gonna ask them is like, hey, where's the split jaw for the movie graphic plus shin? Where's it at? Release another Shin with it included. Please. I want another Shin Godzilla. I still want Ortho Awakening. Like, I'm a simp for the Shin Godzilla stuff. Like, I can't help it. I'm a simp. It's just what it is, you know. All right. I am looking at the time, and I am not liking the time. It is currently 6:05 for me. Larissa's going to be home very, very soon. And this photo set is majorly behind. So, what I'm probably going to do here, probably going to end stream, which is funny. I said I wanted to do the stream up until like the big spoiler thing, quote unquote. And it's funny that we're right here, right before the spoiler happens. And I think that's where I'm going to end it. So if you guys want to see how part 2 ends on of this part, there's one more part after this. So that should suggest something major is about to happen. You know, I think this pose kind of, you know, what's going on here is giving people some inkling on what's going to happen here. Once again, remember, Space Godzilla is mind controlled. And while these are up, that means he's mind controlled. So, you know, something happens. So if you guys want to see the finale of part 2, what we've been photographing today, and see the photos, follow me on Instagram. It is on my bio on the YouTube page. Actually, let me do this quick before we go. If you guys are still here, here is the link. Go ahead and give me a follow if you guys want. Once again, I'm almost for sure I'm going to be doing daily photos. I'm probably going to have to chill with these like big sets. We did a lot of like, the Shin set as a whole was huge, but it was one photo per day, so it wasn't that bad. Where this is like, you know, we're talking like 30, 40 photos by the time this set is done. So I'm probably not going to be able to do these large of sets as much. Especially once I get back into working. But I still do try to post at least a few photos every day. So, and there's going to be some other stuff. Next week for YouTube, just really quick, that box video, the organizing box video stream should be coming out. Hopefully by next Friday. So I've got a lot of editing to do, and like I said, I don't know how much I'm going to be able to work on things over the next few days. So thank you all for watching and hanging out, enjoying this very like you know, experimental stream. I really appreciate it. Thank you all, and I will see you guys next week. And well, you know, if we have a Monstarts reveal, maybe I'll see you guys sooner. But that will be next week or the week after. So take care, everyone. Thanks again. I'll see you later.